Hello there guys, and welcome to Mad Dog Minis. In this video I'm going to be following on really from my last video where I did a bit of a scale comparison between the new Mark 6 Marines that come in the Horus Heresy Age of Darkness box set and Primaris. Now I want to make these guys bigger because if you saw my last video you'll know that I'm not really happy with the size. Not a Primaris fanboy necessarily, but I do like them all to be around that scale because I think it's correct to a 28mm soldier like a Cadian or Catachan or whatever. So I'm trying to look for a kind of similar pose to this Marine to start with. So I want a wide stance kind of pose. I'm looking on the instructions to what the best one might be, but I am going to create a squad of 5 initially. So here I'm taking the torso and the leg section, the front section, just cutting off above the belt. This is quite similar to some of the other conversions I've done for Mark 3 and Mark 4. So if you've seen those videos, you'll get a good idea of where I'm going with this already. But do hang around because there are some subtleties to this one. So I'm going to do the same for the back torso section, and you need to keep that kind of butt plate on the back because that needs to be stuck back on as well. So both components you'll need here, but cut just above the belt. It's a good time to kind of glue the legs together now, so the kind of the leg goes on and that butt plate goes on the back, and that creates the legs. Now you can see here, look, the legs are not too bad, but they are a bit shorter than a Primaris set of legs, so we need to kind of raise those up a little bit to get the groin and hips in line with each other. So we're going to go ahead and put the torso together for later, and then mash some milliput together or some green stuff or something similar, and we're actually going to build the base up. Now this is a little bit of a cheat, but not too much of a cheat. It's not like we're putting like a centimetre wedge of like cork or anything. We're just making a very shallow mound with some milliput to try and make up the deficit of those legs, because I'd like to keep those legs. They're close, but they're not quite long enough. That's the kind of raise you need. And I'm going to make an imprint with the feet. Just make a note if you're doing a production line which ones go with what, but make a little imprint with the feet, and that will allow you to glue them in easier later on. All right, there you go, there's your footprints. So moving on, we can see, look, on the base, look, that has leveled up a little bit, okay, without giving you that stupid thing of like him sitting on a pile of books or a massive kind of slab of cork or something. So now we're going to attach the torso to the legs, and we need to kind of roll a pea-sized piece of milliput or similar into a kind of a squat sausage shape, and that kind of goes down inside the hollow of the legs because these parts are hollow. So that'll actually in time add a really good amount of stability to this conversion. So we kind of mash that down and then kind of slot the torso over the top. We push down and we'll get a little bit of a muffin top squeezing out either side there. That can be tidied up later. The main thing is that we kind of get it the right height. I'm taking it off the base because that hasn't dried yet or anything, just to tidy it up. Okay, so just a little sculpting tool, just wet the sculpting tool and tidy it up a little bit. Doesn't need to be pristine. And here we do a bit of a scale comparison, and we're looking good so far. With the increased abdomen height and the little increase in the base height, we're looking pretty equal to a Primaris, which is the scale I'm after. Of course, if you're after something different, you need to measure differently. It's a good time to let that all dry. In the meantime, this is one I did, and you can see that you can do it without making the mound, but you end up looking like that bit from Austin Powers where he's kind of sitting on Mini-Me's shoulders. Do you know the bit I mean, where the legs are just like too short, you know? That's what it kind of makes me think about. So you can do it that way, but be warned, it doesn't end up looking quite right. Good time to attach the arms now after the milliput's all dry on the original conversion. There is nothing exciting about this. Is why I'm zipping through this footage. This is just the torso and the head and the backpack, all the rest just going together as it's supposed to. There's no conversion work here, guys, at all. All right. I hate those two-piece shoulder pads, as I said in the last video, but I won't moan about it so much in this one. It is what it is. So here we can see that we've got this bare waist now that looks too elongated and thin. So I've got a buttload of storage that I went and kind of like hacked away off my various sprues, and I'm just going to plop that around the waist using some super glue. You will need super glue for this, and probably a needle-nosed pair of pliers to help you get some of the smaller components on, but that will bulk out the midsection, hide the ugliness of the milliput, and that's looking not too bad. See, the proportions aren't as bad as that one where I didn't do the mound. Do you know what I mean? I mean, you know, each to their own. If you want to do it that way, that's fine. I know this is a bit of a cheat. It's not in my nature to do this, but I really really wanted to keep those legs. So I decided to kind of go a bit of both, a little bit of abdomen and a little bit of a hill on the base. So here you can see the sergeant I made is a little bit more of an upright pose. You do get a little bit of extra height on the more upright kind of walking poses as opposed to the splayed legs. It's not much, guys. It's, you know, a millimetre or two at the most. So it's, you know, it's peanuts really, to be honest with you. You can see here, if I compare against the wider stance look, it's a little bit taller, but not an awful lot. So yeah, no big increase there. So here's a direct comparison with a Primaris again on the rotating platform. It's yet to be primed or anything, but you can see that we've definitely achieved the right kind of height. And obviously, you know, we've cheated a bit with the base, but that's the best solution I came up with in order to keep the legs. You could use Primaris legs, but I think you'd take away from that Mark 6 aesthetic if you did that. So here we're going to compare against an older tactical marine. You can see, like, you know, much bigger, much taller, really kind of dwarfs it. So, you know, the scale is, for me, much better, especially if you, I mean, I don't have one offhand, but if you put a Cadian in the mix here, you'd see what I mean. It's just ridiculous, the smaller marine there. So here's a completed squad, complete with the sergeant. I decided to go with bayonets on these guys. I don't think I stuck to the convention of what arms go with what torso necessarily. I just kind of mashed them together as I saw fit, but I'm really pleased with these, and I'm definitely going to be producing some more. These guys are eventually going to get painted up as Emperor's Children to kind of complement my loyalist warband that I'm making. Sorry about the change in direction on the turntable there. I wasn't really paying attention when I was doing that, but they're all primed Corax white now, so you can hopefully get a better idea there of where they're going. Yeah, really pleased. Let me know what you think about this, guys. Let me know, you know, what you think the outcome is, and if you think you could do kind of better. You know, I mean, I'm keen to see what you guys come up with. So thanks ever so much to all my subscribers. Really appreciate it. Please hit that like button. Consider sharing with a friend if you think they might like it, and definitely give me a sub if you're not already subscribed. It all helps the channel to grow. So I will catch you in a future video, guys. But don't forget to comment down below. Let me know what you think. I'll put a few links up to some other relevant videos that I've done in case you haven't caught them. Cheers.